Have you ever hired someone because you were overwhelmed and you needed some help, but somehow you ended up with more overwhelm than before? Maybe you thought if I just had some help, we would be able to break through this next barrier or things would calm down. So, what do? You hire and try and fill that gap in. But somehow you're managing more chaos, training the chaos, and paying for the chaos. What if I told you that hiring isn't always the answer? I'm Hope Swinner with InService, and today we're talking about one of the most expensive mistakes that I see business owners make: throwing people and money at a problem that's not actually a people problem. It's a process problem. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to tell the difference and what to fix first. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, three things today. First, how to figure out if you even have a process problem or a people problem. Those aren't two very different things with two very different fixes. Second, I'm going to tell you a story about what happens when you hire before the path is clear. It's not pretty and it's more common than you think, so you're not alone if you've been here before. And number three, we're going to map out your client journey together live right here. And I'm going to show you how to do it in 5 easy steps. You'll be able to do this for your own business before the video's over. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Is the work not getting done, or is it not getting done right? Those two things sound the same, but they lead to completely different solutions. A people problem sounds like this: there aren't enough hours in the day. I need someone to handle the phones. My team is stretched thin. That's really more of a capacity problem. The work exists and has a path. You just need more hands to do it. A process problem sounds like this: things fall through the cracks. Every job gets done a little bit differently depending on who does it. Or maybe you don't know where the leads are going after somebody calls you. That's a consistency problem. The work doesn't have a clear path to follow in the first place. Here's the test that I give every business owner I work with. If you handed this task to a brand new person today, someone with zero experience, zero training, would they know what to do? Not because they're smart or because they come in with experience or know how to ask the right questions, but because you had something written down that they could follow, a process. If the answer is no, this is not a hiring problem. This is a systems problem. Before you do anything else, we've got to fix the system. You've just paid somebody to learn your chaos instead of a clean process if you hire somebody beforehand. So run this quick check right now. Think of one thing in your business that keeps going sideways. Maybe it's a missed follow-up, a job that runs over all the time, clients complaining that the same thing keeps happening over and over again. And then ask yourself, is there a written process for this particular subject? Not something in your head or some sticky notes or something you verbally told one of your coworkers, step by step, something written down, something a new person could pick up and follow. If yes is the answer, then good for you. You might have a people problem, and it might be time to think about bringing that other person on, because you can indeed scale because you have a playbook in place. You have standard operating procedures. If the answer is no, then you definitely have a process problem. And hiring here means paying somebody to be confused right alongside of you, which is just going to increase your frustration and be a complete waste of money. So we'll come back to what to do about it. But first, let me tell you what happens if you skip this part and go to the hire instead. Let me tell you about a business owner I worked with. Let's just call her Lisa. Lisa ran a residential home service company, had solid revenue, great clients, growing fast, but she was drowning every single week, putting out fires, dreading for the phone to ring in the morning, always dealing with employee problems, process problems, customer problems. So she did what made sense, and she hired another office person. She spent 2 months training her, paid a full-time salary, and within 90 days, Lisa was more overwhelmed than she was before. Why? Because the office manager kept coming to her with questions. What do I do when a client reschedules? What do I do? How do I find out the add-on pricing? Who handles the supply orders? A lot of times Lisa would just say, I'll take care of it myself if she didn't have time to explain it. So instead of Lisa's office person learning the right way to run her operation, she learned Lisa's chaotic way, not a clean process. That's not what we want. 2 months of her own time training someone who could have taken anything off of her plate. A full salary paid before the role was even clearly defined, and honestly, she ended up with more stress, not less. Now, here's what I want you to hear. The office person didn't fail. Lisa didn't fail. The process failed because there wasn't one. And the same trap shows up with automation. I see it consistently. People often will buy an AI tool or consider buying some fancy sales system and pay a company to set up a workflow to automate their follow up and wonder why it's not working. But here's the math with it: a broken process plus automating just equals a broken process faster. That's why here at InService, when we work with each one of our clients, we always start with the client journey. We always start by mapping out the process, making sure that we've covered all the bases in the entire customer journey. And that way you can then automate and you can scale quickly. That's why the mapping process is the first step. And it's not an optional nice to have item, not something you do after you've built everything out. You map it first, then you fix it, then you hire or automate in that order only. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now. Let's do a live client journey right now. Okay, so here's a simple client journey for a home service business. 5 steps, and this is really it from the time that they come in to how you're going to follow up and keep them as a raving fan of yours. Step one is the inquiry. How does the lead actually look? Actually reach out to you? Did they come in maybe phone calls or web forms or Facebook message or Instagram DM? And a lot of businesses, the answer is it just depends on the day and who's working. This this would be your first flag. So if you can't always get back to your folks in a timely manner, and it just depends on what's going on, that's a broken system. Let's take a look at the quote estimate stage of most client journeys. Is there a script? Is there a pricing guide? Is there a standard way that this gets done? Or does whoever answered the phone just kind of wing it based on what they remember? See the circle around this one here? This is one of the most common places I see money leak. No consistent pricing means inconsistent quotes, lost jobs, and lost clients. And these clients, if you don't answer the phone, if you can't paint the picture and sell the service over the phone, they are going to shop around because they don't feel confident with you. Then we move on to booking and confirmation. So this is step three for most processes. Does the client actually get a confirmation when they book with you, an email or a text or phone call? Or does it sometimes happen or not happen, or only if you have your virtual assistant available, or sometimes you forget to make the phone calls? And the client's then left wondering if they're on the schedule or not. If you're missing a point in here, this is decreasing client confidence, and this is something that you want to address. Then we usually move on to service delivery. Couple things to think about here. Is there a pre-job checklist? Is there a standard that every employee or team follows when they're delivering the service? Do you have a quality assurance process set up or a post-job checklist? Does every technician or employee do things a little different just depending on their personality or their preferences? What that means is every client is getting a slightly different experience, and that's really difficult to scale. Then usually in your client journey process is the follow-up or review stage. And so this is after the job. Is anybody following up? Do you have a way to ask for a review or check to see if things went well? This one is where most service businesses leave money on the table. If you're not following up, you're not getting reviews and you're not getting repeat business. This tells the client that you are making time to make sure that they are happy and that you delivered on their promises. So 5 steps, again, this is not the complete client journey for all businesses, but for most of them, this is the journey. You could even take this a bit further and talk about how do you keep in touch with your previous customers after you've serviced them, after everything's gone well. Do you have extra promotions or seasonal offers that you can give to them? Without some sort of process in place, you're leaving money on the table. Now, I want you to do this for your own business. Pause this video, take a minute, and write this out. At every single step, ask yourself, is there a written process for this? Circle every, it depends, or not always, or I'm not sure. And those circles are exactly where your money is leaking and they need attention. Once you see the gaps, you can fix them. And once you fix them, then you decide, do I need to hire somebody to run this or can smart systems handle it? That's what we specialize with at InService. We look at these gaps, we look at the if ands, and we try to help you automate and fill in the gaps between the people. A lot of times, these reminders, the quick follow up with your leads, review requests, that can all be integrated inside of your personal touch follow up without hiring somebody. So here's your sequence. Map it first. Get the 5 steps out of your head onto paper. Write down exactly what happens or what's supposed to happen at each one. Find the gaps. Circle it depends steps or the places where things start to fall apart and focus on those. Those are the bottlenecks. Fix the process. Build a simple written path, a checklist, a script, a template, just one step at a time. You're not going to be able to fix everything at once, but little by little you can get through correcting your processes and stopping the bottleneck. Then you can look at, now, how do I automate this or hire somebody? Now you know what you actually need, a person to run a clear process or a smart system to supplement what you already have. Here's how we can help. So depending on where you are right now, if you want a guide on your whole business, not just this one area, book a free discovery call with me. We will walk through the 5 pillars of business growth and freedom together, and we'll find out exactly where you're leaking money. And that's at myinservice.com/consulting. And you can find that link in the comments. If you're already on a clear process and you're ready to automate, our smart system packages are built for you. These are proven workflows and business systems built inside of High Level. We are a High Level certified agency, and this is by far one of the best softwares that you can use to automate and incorporate into your automations. All of the High Level systems inside of our agency come with the in-service framework already built inside of your system. And you can get that at myinservice.com. Again, find the link in the comments. And then if you want to just get in and build it yourself after you do your client journey mapping, and let's say you really enjoy doing all the tech yourself, you can do this yourself. We've got a link in the comments for you. You get a 14-day free trial. And when you sign up with our link, we'll let you into our community where we share tips, talk about building out workflows, and so much more. So remember, before you hire, before you automate, take the time and map the processes out. You won't regret it because the problem may not be what you think it is. If this helped you see your business differently, please hit subscribe. I put out content like this every week for service business owners who want to grow smarter, not just bigger. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here.